What's up, guys? Welcome back to the hangar. Now today I wanted to do a different style video. I wanted to talk about something because it's been of relevance, at least in my online community, that in a lot of the flying groups I'm in, there's been a lot of memes getting shared around that are kind of poking fun at nose-wheel pilots and basically claiming that they're inferior to tailwheel pilots. So today I kind of wanted to bring up that discussion and ask the question, are tailwheel pilots actually better pilots than non-tailwheel pilots?
I'm Trent Palmer. I fly drones for a living and bush planes for fun. Follow along as I journey off the beaten path of aviation.
All right, before we get too far into this and before we upset anyone, I want to clear the air. Do I think that tailwheel pilots are superior or better pilots than nose-wheel pilots? No. There's an old aviation adage that says a good pilot uses his good pilot judgment over his good pilot skill any day of the week. So to me, I think the best judgment of a pilot is he making it home safe, both him and his passengers, every single flight? If so, yeah, then he's a good pilot. So when it comes down to that whole front of decision making, I don't know that a tailwheel pilot's going to be any more equipped to make a good decision. So to just broadly say that a tailwheel pilot is a better pilot than a nose-wheel pilot, I don't think it's a fair assessment. I will, however, say that there are definitely skill sets that you learn from flying a tailwheel aircraft and the training that's involved with that would make you more equipped to get yourself out of a bad situation should you get yourself in one. Scenarios like a stall spin scenario that can, one, be avoided by proper rudder use, and secondly, requires rudder use to recover from, would be a good example of when a tailwheel pilot might be a little bit more equipped and a little more suited for a situation like that. But I will say the other day, I flew with my buddy in his Cessna 182, and it blew my mind how little he even used his rudder. I was like, dude, if you were flying my plane, you would be all over the place. And it kind of got me thinking, I wonder how much more I do truly use my feet than a nose wheel pilot. And you know, I've never put a camera down on my rudder pedals to see how much I'm actually using them. So I figured today would be a good chance. Let's put a camera down there and see how much I actually use my feet. And then I figure after that, we'll go fly with my buddy Ryan and do the same thing and see how much he uses his. And then afterwards, we'll kind of wrap it up and figure out why there are any differences, if there are.
This is perfect. Now we got our volunteer nose wheel pilot coming along. So we can see how much I use my feet versus yours, huh?
Great.
So I've never filmed my feet before. So I got
Did you put a light up there and everything?
Yeah, I gotta be able to see it.
Like a regular shoe model.
Heck yeah. It's those fresh new sneaks, man.
They're all like knitted or something?
Yeah, fully waterproof, the whole nine.
No way.
Yeah.
They look like
they're like breathable.
Way too breathable. You can't be breathable and waterproof. Impossible.
They are. I'll show you when we get back to the hangar.
Impossible. It's the unicorn of shoes.
It is.
Yeah, did you guys notice those fresh new kicks? Non-tailwheel pilots will never understand the struggle of finding the right pair of shoes for flying in. I actually have a couple buddies that are boot wearers that actually take their boots off when they get in their plane and just fly with socks on because they don't have enough maneuverability with their boots. It's ridiculous. Luckily, we're no longer in the age where we have to sacrifice comfort and our flyability just to have waterproof shoes that we can wear when we're out bush flying. Thanks to the sponsor of this video, Vessi. Now, what makes Vessi unique is they're 100% waterproof, sandproof, slush-proof, and slip-proof. They keep your feet totally dry. Now, with wet weather in the forecast, as well as colder temps, this is normally the time of year that wet feet become the norm. Whether it's from stepping in mud or puddles, or just walking through wet grass when I'm out exploring new spots on the plane, I'm excited to finally have a pair of shoes that can keep my feet dry and comfortable. And they may actually be replacing the boots that I normally live in the wet and cold months. Now, what's really cool about Vessis is they're made from Dymatex, which is a dual climate knit material which keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. And honestly, it doesn't even feel like it should be waterproof. Vessi has an incredible early Black Friday offer right now. So use my link and grab yourself a pair for the winter months while they still have sizes, and you can thank me later. But if you missed the Black Friday sale, use my code Trent to get $25 off your Vessi shoes. Thanks again, Vessi, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to flying.
So one thing you'll notice is when I'm taxiing, I have to put a lot of rudder input because I don't run steering springs on my tail like most tail wheels have. Mine's free castering, so what'll happen is right now, I'm out of right rudder, so then I'll go up and I'll touch the brake, and I have to do the same on the other side. So I use a lot of brake when I'm taxiing. It's not a huge deal. I do run through brake pads a little faster than, you know, standard steering spring tail wheel.
The traffic, Freedom Fox, taking runway 8, will be orbiting overhead instead. I feel like I should get a couple warm-ups though. I haven't been flying that much at all.
It's just to see how much you use your feet. So one thing that everyone seems to comment on is that my right tire stops as soon as I get off the ground. And part of that's just the P factor from this engine. It takes a lot of right rudder. And when I push right rudder, I naturally hit the right brake. So it's not that my brake's stuck or anything. It's just that I just ride the brake, yeah.
It's super awkward though, like when you bring something up, now all I'm doing is watching your feet.
Well, yeah. The big thing I want to see too is I know that the Kit Fox, it just flies differently than a Cessna.
Yeah.
So I just want to do some like Dutch rolls and some turns and see how much I use my actual feet, and then what happens if I don't use my feet.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is some Dutch rolls. I've got a camera watching the ball, so we'll see how bad I am at these. I don't like practice these that often, but so say I go right, left. That one got way out of whack. But even just going into a turn, so let's say that's a right turn, and then out of it, and then a left turn. Now for shits and giggles, you put your hands on the controls. Let's give us a couple left and right turns. What? Where are you going? Why are you diving?
I'm trying.
Stop looking at the ball, just fly the plane.
Oh, okay. There's Ken out there. All right. Stop looking at the ball. What are we doing? Where are we going?
I don't know, turn back towards the airport, make a left turn.
Okay, you can kind of feel,
Jesus.
whoa.
Less rudder. I'm gonna take back over.
Yeah.
Let's see, again, it's my airplane, so I got a lot of time in this thing, but like a left turn for me should be right in that range. And then a right turn coming back should kind of sit in there somewhere, right?
But you gotta fly my plane. Like.
Set traffic, Freedom Fox on left base for 8 instead.
That still feels so weird.
What?
That angle.
Oh, that wasn't even that steep.
Just when you're setting down, like the...
Oh, when the tail comes down? Have you tried taxiing this thing?
No.
Go ahead and try right now. Turn us right down that taxiway.
Oh, what the it does nothing. Yours does. Oh, I guess that makes sense. I should have realized that, huh? Never mind.
Without anything connected?
That there's nothing connected, that it's all on brake. And yeah, so it's all brake, 0. Whoa. Holy mackerel.
That would have been a ground loop. Now you know why. And you're just riding brakes. That's the only thing you can do, huh?
Yeah.
All right, just finished that test flight. Ryan's never taxied a tailwheel before. What'd you think?
It sucked.
I love how much you hate being on camera. I think it's more fun putting you on camera because you hate it.
Great. Let's do this. I'm nervous for some reason, and I have no idea why.
Stead traffic, November 2, 333 X-ray, rolling 8, close traffic.
Stead traffic, Cherokee, turning pace, runway 8, stead.
So how much rudder input are you putting in for a turn?
Minimal? I mean, those are pretty shallow turns though. You want to do it?
I mean, your first turn was kind of steep. Do me a favor, once you go level, just do an aileron bob without touching rudder. Like take your feet off the rudder. I want to see what it does. That's with no feet on the rudder?
No feet on the rudder.
Oh my gosh, there's like no adverse yaw there.
No, that's what I said. It's totally different. Like fly it. Fly this plane.
Okay, all right. What the heck? Yeah, I think if I led like I do with my plane.
Dude, I stopped on mine. Like yours, you had to do it before. Like it was exactly opposite.
So aside from just being harder to land, my plane is actually harder to fly.
Pull it all the way back. Nice.
Oh, you should have used your feet a little bit more, you know, so you don't land go straight down the runway.
I can't tell which way's straight, man.
Okay, now I'm gonna actually have to wait to see if it translates in footage, but what I can tell you from being in the aircraft is that I definitely use my feet and my rudders a lot more than Ryan does in his 182. Now there's a few reasons for this. Number one being ground handling. Obviously a tailwheel aircraft, when it's on the ground, wants to go every direction but straight and tries to turn around on you. And if you haven't seen my video I did a while back on ground loops, you guys should go check that out. I'll put a link right up above here. But basically, I'm just so accustomed to using my feet on takeoff, landing, and taxi that I'm just more active when I'm in the air. Another thing, while in the air, my plane does seem to require a bit more rudder input than a Cessna does, and that's just a design characteristic. Now the Cessnas are a very well engineered plane, so is the Kit Fox, but they're kind of designed for different purposes. The Cessna is designed to be a very smooth and fluid plane that has very little adverse yaw. The Kit Fox, on the other hand, is more of a pilot's plane. It's meant to be stick and rudder flying at its finest, and it has a bit more adverse yaw. Now, adverse yaw, for those that aren't aware of what that is basically a phenomenon that when you roll your airplane using ailerons, that the plane wants to yaw to the outside of the turn. It's caused because basically the outside aileron is going to droop down, that's going to add drag, slow that wing down, and at the same time, the inside wing is lifting the aileron, which is lowering the drag on that side, which actually yaws the plane outside of the turn. Now, some planes are designed to get rid of that almost completely, like a Cessna. The Kit Fox, again, being more of a stick and rudder and pilot's plane, doesn't get rid of it. Now, part of that is just the nature of the beast. The Kit Fox is a very yaw-sensitive aircraft because it's so short-coupled. Also, because of the full-length flaperons, there's a pretty large amount of control authority you have, but it also leads to a bit more adverse yaw than something like a Cessna that has a slower roll rate, but has less adverse yaw. It's the difference between having like a really smooth driving Cadillac that's gonna go down the road and it's kind of mushy feeling, but it's just smooth and easy to drive, versus someone that wants a more sports car that just hugs the ground, that's gonna be very twitchy and fast and agile. It'll give you a bit of a different driver's experience. That's more like the Kit Fox, but to me, that's what makes it so fun. So yeah, I definitely do use my feet a lot more than Ryan, who would be a traditional nose-wheel pilot that has yet to get his tailwheel rating. Does it make me a better pilot? I don't think so. But to anyone that's considering getting their tailwheel, I would still definitely recommend it because it's just another tool in your tool belt to help make you a better pilot. And hey, it never hurts to have those additional endorsements in your logbook.
All right, now that I've gone way off of the original question of are tailwheel pilots better than nose-wheel pilots, which I don't think is ever universally the case, but I do think being a tailwheel pilot can hone in your skills and make you a better stick and rudder pilot. And I did finally get to see how much more I use my feet than other pilots. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. And you guys know the drill. Like this video if you do, subscribe if you haven't, come be my wingman. See you on the next one. Peace.